Real Madrid is the job everyone dreams about until the phone actually rings, because here, even legends get judged like it's a final every week. And sometimes the biggest headline isn't who they hire, it's who quietly says no. Here are 7 managers who refused the 15-time European champions. Number 7, Zinedine Zidane. It's no secret Madrid's first instinct, the second Xabi Alonso looks like he might leave, is always Zidane. And weeks before Xabi finally walked, Spanish journalist Pepe Álvarez reported that Real Madrid was prepared to offer Zidane an unprecedented dual role, managing Madrid while also coaching the French national team. But then, the moment Xabi leaves, Madrid moves instantly and appoints Álvaro Arbeloa. That tells you everything. Zidane refused the job. And this isn't about Zidane falling out of love with the club. His love for Real Madrid is real, and the legacy is permanent. But if you want to understand why he can still say no, go back to his public letter in May 2021. He spoke directly to the fans with respect, but he also drew a line. Zidane said he was leaving because he didn't feel the club had the faith in him that he needed, or the support to build something medium to long term. Now add the other piece. Zidane has always had one job in mind for the future, France. So when the Madrid job starts to look unstable again, he's not stepping into chaos with his name as the shield. Number 6, Jurgen Klopp. When the Real Madrid job opens up, the internet treats Klopp like the emergency glass on the wall. Break in case of crisis. So the second Xabi Alonso was gone, the rumour wave hit exactly like you'd expect. But Klopp's response was ice cold. He basically told everyone, "This has nothing to do with me." He said it didn't trigger anything for him, and he sounded genuinely surprised by how quickly Madrid pulled the plug on Alonso, and the tone was telling. It didn't feel like a man flirting with the job. It felt more like someone reacting to how ruthless that decision was. Then he added the detail that made it crystal clear. Yes, people were messaging him about it, but not Real Madrid. No official call, no direct approach, just noise turning into headlines. Klopp knows what that bench does to people. At Madrid, you don't get to build quietly, you don't get a slow year. You get judged like it's a final every week, and the moment the vibe shifts, the ground moves under your feet. Right now, Klopp's in a long-term big picture role with Red Bull. He's not stepping into chaos just because the internet wants a blockbuster. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, hit like, subscribe to Goal 90, and tell me, would you take the Madrid job, but only with half a season to prove yourself? And number 5 is where it gets spicy, since this one didn't say no out of fear. Number 5, Julian Nagelsmann. Back when Zidane walked away the first time, Madrid didn't just look at safe, established names. They called a wonder kid coach. Nagelsmann later revealed there were phone calls, and he spoke directly with Jose Angel Sanchez, Florentino Perez's right-hand man. And what makes this one unforgettable is that Nagelsmann didn't play hard to get. He owned the decision. He basically said, "It's Real Madrid, but it's not the right step yet." His logic was simple and ruthless. At Madrid, there's no space to learn on the job. If you don't win instantly, nobody cares that you're still developing. He even hinted the door wasn't dead forever, that a future conversation could happen if Madrid needed someone and he was free. Then he takes the Bayern job and gets the same super club lesson in real time. Bayern sacked him in 2023 and moved straight to Thomas Tuchel while the season was still alive. That's the exact vibe Madrid just showed with Xabi. At this level, patience gets sold first. Germany appoint him in September 2023, and he's now extended through Euro 2028. And notice this, in the current Madrid replacement chatter, his name isn't even in the main candidate list anymore, so he once left the door open. But the real question now is, will Madrid knock again? Number 4, Arsene Wenger. Imagine being a kid who loved Real Madrid, then growing up and getting the actual call. Wenger says that happened, and he still said no, not once, 2 or 3 times. And it wasn't because he didn't rate the job, he basically admitted the temptation was real, especially because Madrid were offering him something most managers never get, control of the whole club. So why refuse? Because of timing and loyalty. Wenger said Arsenal were in a sensitive period, especially around the years when the club was committing to the Emirates-era plan and stability mattered. He describes it like a promise you don't break, even if the biggest club in the world is calling. That's what makes Wenger's no so cold. He didn't reject Madrid out of ego, he rejected them out of responsibility. He chose the long, stressful, unglamorous road, the one where you're building while everyone's complaining, because he believed walking out would betray what he'd committed to. But the next one is a totally different kind of rejection. A straight choice between 2 giants, and Madrid came second. Number 3, Massimiliano Allegri. In Allegri's case, it was a straight choice between two giant clubs, and he picked the one that felt safer. When Madrid needed a coach and Allegri's name was on the table, the expectation was simple: experienced winner, proven in Europe, built for big pressure. But Allegri chose to stay committed to Juventus instead of jumping into the Madrid storm. And that decision tells you a lot about what the Madrid job really is. At Juventus, you're under pressure, sure, but you're allowed to build a season. At Madrid, you're expected to win immediately with a spotlight that doesn't blink. One bad month, and the noise turns into a trial. So Allegri's no isn't an insult to Madrid. It's a manager protecting his timeline and his reputation. He basically said, I know what that bench does to people and I'm not volunteering. And here's the scary part for Madrid fans. Once a coach turns them down like that, Madrid usually doesn't wait around for a second date. They move on fast, rewrite the plan, and act like the conversation never happened. Now number 2 is different. This one didn't choose another club. He chose principles, and it changed how people looked at him forever. Number 2, Mauricio Pochettino. This one is the values over vanity rejection. When Madrid were looking for a new coach, Pochettino admitted he had the chance to take the job in 2018, just like Nagelsmann, and he turned it down. Not because he didn't rate Madrid, because walking out on Tottenham in that moment would have gone against his principles. He said leaving Spurs in the lurch wasn't who he wanted to be, and that's what makes this different from the usual Madrid stories. Most managers say no because they fear the pressure. Pochettino's no was about reputation, how you want players, staff and fans to remember you when you leave a club. But here's the part that connects to the bigger theme. Once you say no to Madrid, the timeline doesn't pause for you. The carousel keeps spinning, and when your name comes back around later, it rarely hits the same. Reports at the time even suggested Madrid cooled on him as a candidate as the search evolved. So Pochettino becomes a perfect example of how Madrid works. You don't get many maybe later moments. You either jump when the train arrives, or you watch it disappear. Because number 1, that's the rejection that was all about power. Number 1, Antonio Conte. When Real Madrid hit a real crisis, Conte's name always jumps to the top of the rumour pile. In late 2018, with Madrid wobbling and the Lopetegui situation collapsing, reports said Madrid made contact, but Conte ruled himself out because he felt the project wasn't right and he didn't want to jump into a mid-season fire. Conte later basically confirmed the bigger truth behind it. There were moments he was very close to coaching Madrid, but he chose to postpone because the timing was wrong and the season had already started. And that's the Conte-Madrid mismatch in one sentence. Madrid often wants you to walk in and win immediately, with the club already moving at full speed. Conte wants control, structure and conditions that fit his way, not a chaotic takeover where you're judged from day one like you've been there for years. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe, because these stories show how brutal the Madrid job really is. Now, comment one name you think would actually survive there for 5 seasons, and don't miss the next video on your screen. See you there. This new year, Goal 90 drops something special, football-inspired phone cases made for the Goal 90 fam. From club colours to country pride, we've got you covered. And the best part? Customise it with your name and number. Head to the Goal 90 shop and get yours now.